Minnesota suffers from some of the worst academic disparities between students of color, Indigenous students, and white students in educational outcomes. Our mission at MnEEP is to change that. We change that by influencing how schools, colleges, education systems structure themselves, approach their relationships with these students in order to advance culturally validating pedagogical practices. Any redesign of any human structure is going to require a new way of thinking. Combating racism, undoing racism, requires innovation.
One of the primary or central features of the toolkit is a Race Equity in Higher Education Compact. That compact was designed in concert with the three major systems in higher education in Minnesota, which would be Minnesota State, the Minnesota Private Colleges Council, and the University of Minnesota. Working with the Office of Higher Education, we were able to develop a compact that outlined about a dozen different values that help to drive race equity through higher education for communities and communities of color and Indigenous students in Minnesota.
We provide support to K-12 school districts and higher ed institutions around looking at their race equity agendas so that when we look at each student, we not only want to see them, hear them, and love everything about their identity, but it's actually an opportunity for their identity and all of the parts of it to be able to contribute to learning in the classroom. And then we want that for our educators as well. It's really about fixing the system that was never designed or intended to serve each child. And then combining that with the will to do this work, because it does need to be intentional and it does take a high level of personal and institutional investment to be able to change the outcomes and eliminate that educational debt that our students and families experience.
Our work in a number of communities, whether it's Mankato or Worthington or Onamia, Mille Lacs, has produced good outcomes. We were invited in to help facilitate processes of engagement, which those communities identified their own goals for racial equity, and then design plans to be adopted by the school districts in those communities. We did that by also engaging other forms of local government and the private sector. So what we're talking about is helping to drive community processes for laying out in pretty detailed ways recommendations for how their local schools will arrive at equitable, high-quality educational outcomes.
MnEEP is strategically positioned as a thought leader and innovator and change agent because it's built its infrastructure in community. The value of the individual that's in front of us is critically important, and their humanity is the central location of where we should be functioning as a society. Culturally validated pedagogy does that. It validates the identity of the individual as whole and complete, and utilizes and provides opportunity for the individuals to determine their role within our society. Instead of being told what they're going to be and who they're going to be, they get to decide who we as a country and as a world are going to be, with their beauty and their wholeness as a human being.